technology. So that's another thing I could see down the landscape, really picking these things up very early and showing that an early intervention with I'm not saying Repostinol is going to be the magic drug, but something along those lines that will prevent that process from going forward could really change how many people wind up in the full-blown syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Got it. That's helpful. But if you were to actually just apply percentages, would you say like 5% are in PCP offices?
Who stay? Well, I'd say 5% will stay with their primary care physician. The vast majority are going to get sent out, depending on how affluent they are and who they're connected to. If you're middle to upper middle class and beyond, you're going to wind up in private practice referral, and that's probably about 40 to 50%. And the rest are going to go to the community mental health centers because they can't afford the private practitioners. And for example, in our Northwestern clinic, there's about a 6 to 9 month waiting list, which is useless for these people. They're really stuck if they can't afford the private practice, and they're struggling with depression, which is now hurting their work performance and their sleep and their private lives.
Wow, so you're saying at these community mental health clinics there's a 6 to 9 month wait to even get treated or seen?
That's in our clinic. There could be a smaller wait elsewhere. And as I said, I mentioned this mill-like place that opened right in the middle of Chicago. I wouldn't call it a community mental health center. It's a business. And it's, these are generally run by docs themselves, and they hire whoever they need to keep the flow going. And they use a lot of meds. They'll also have some counselors there to help as well. They do in this particular place. So, and a place like that, which is right in the middle where so many people work, you can see why it's so popular. They don't want to have to go to some private practice office far from where they live or something. So, but the really $100,000 to $200,000 a year people, they're all in being seen by $300 an hour psychiatrists, and as I said before, they're often paying right out of their pocket.
Wow. And what about schizophrenia? What does that breakdown look like for schizophrenia?
Well, the schizophrenia, other than prior to age 25 or so, when they lose their insurance, they will, and again, what I'm about to say is really for the middle and upper middle class. They're going to wind up with a private psychiatry referral. The family, of course, gets so desperate when their heretofore pretty normal youngster is now delusional, hallucinating, and violent at times. So they'll go all out to find the money and get a referral to a good private psychiatrist. But the less affluent people, even when they're in that younger age, they're going to wind up at a community mental health center. So I would say 1/3 right from the get-go will go into the community mental health centers. The other 2/3 are going to have a go at it for a period of years in a private practice setting. And then eventually, even those people, the ones that are really chronic, particularly if they're having frequent acute episodes, they're going to lose the private practice connection and end up in the community mental health centers too.
Got it. So overall in the U.S., would you say that it's more than 2/3 in the community mental health centers?
Yeah, I would say